If your manhood has stopped working the way it used to, if your mornings are quiet, your confidence slipping, and you're tired of pretending it doesn't bother you, then listen closely, because what I'm about to share may surprise you, even shock you. After treating thousands of men over the age of 60, I've discovered that the single most overlooked cause of weak erections is not low testosterone. It's poor blood flow. And the fix? It's not a blue pill. It's not an expensive device. It's a simple vegetable that you can eat every morning. And within days, your circulation, your energy, and your manhood can begin to return. My name is Dr. Elena. I'm a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men regain their strength, confidence, and vitality. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through a powerful, natural solution backed by science, trusted by real patients, and easily available in every grocery store. Because when you start your morning with this one food, everything changes. Blood pressure stabilizes, nitric oxide rises, oxygen flows exactly where it's needed, including down there. Before we dive in, take a second to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll never miss another tip that helps you reclaim your strength, energy, and confidence. And if this message speaks to you, just type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 so I know how to serve you better. Let's begin with the real reason so many men over 60 struggle with weaker erections, and why it has far more to do with blood flow than with testosterone. 1. The forgotten reason erections get weaker after 60. I want to begin with something most men never hear. Not from their doctor, not from their friends, and certainly not from TV commercials. Erections don't just disappear after 60 because you're getting older. That's the myth. The real reason? Your blood simply isn't moving the way it used to. I've had countless men sit across from me, good men, strong men, and they look me in the eye and say, "Dr. Elena, I think I'm just past my prime." And I look right back and tell them, "No, you're not. Your prime is still in you. It's your circulation that's been neglected, not your manhood." Your ability to get and maintain an erection depends on one key system: blood flow. More specifically, the flow of oxygen-rich blood into the tiny vessels of your penis. And that flow is powered by a gas your body produces naturally, something called nitric oxide. When you were younger, your nitric oxide levels were high. That's why everything worked so quickly, so easily. But after 60, your nitric oxide drops, sometimes by more than 70%. Your arteries stiffen, the inner lining of your blood vessels becomes less responsive. As a result, the surge of blood that once filled your penis is now more of a trickle. You're not broken. Your body's just asking for help. And here's the part that hits home. This change doesn't just affect your performance. It affects your confidence, your sense of self, even your emotional connection with your partner. The worst part? Most men are never told this is fixable. But it is, and in a far more natural way than you might think. There's a simple vegetable, one you can eat every morning, that helps your body rebuild nitric oxide and restart the engine that drives your erections, energy, and circulation. 2. The one vegetable that rebuilds circulation in older men. When I first discovered the power of this vegetable, I was skeptical. Could something so ordinary, so inexpensive, really make a difference? But then I started seeing the results. My patients, men in their late 60s, 70s, even early 80s, were coming back after just a few weeks saying things like, "Dr. Elena, I woke up firm again." All they had changed was adding this one food to their morning routine. The vegetable I'm talking about is beetroot. Yes, beets. The deep red root that often gets pushed aside on dinner plates. But hidden inside that humble vegetable is a compound your aging body desperately needs: dietary nitrate. When you eat beets, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, the very same gas that tells your arteries to relax, open up, and allow blood to flow freely. Increased blood flow doesn't just help your heart or your brain. It also improves circulation to your pelvic region, including the tissue inside your penis that fills and expands during arousal. For older men, this is everything. You're not just improving your ability to get an erection. You're feeding the system that supports vitality, energy, and confidence. Years ago, I worked with a gentleman named Charles. He was 71, a retired engineer, and he hadn't had a full erection in over a year. We made one simple change. We had him start each morning with a glass of fresh beet juice, just 6 ounces. That was it. By week 2, he called me, emotional, and said, "Dr. Elena, I feel like myself again." That's when I knew this wasn't just theory, it was real. 3. What happens in your body when you eat beets? You might be wondering, how can something as simple as a beet actually help restore the blood flow you had when you were younger? Once you understand what's happening inside your body, it all starts to make sense. Here's what happens when you eat beets. You're giving your body a direct source of dietary nitrates, and those nitrates are the raw material your body uses to produce nitric oxide. It's a gas, invisible and silent, but it plays one of the most powerful roles in your vascular system. Nitric oxide tells your blood vessels to relax, tells your arteries, "Open up, let the blood flow." That's the signal your body has been missing. The journey begins in your mouth. As you chew the beet, bacteria on your tongue begin converting the nitrates into nitrites. Then, as you swallow, your stomach and bloodstream continue that process, finally turning those nitrites into nitric oxide. Within minutes, you may feel a lightness, a sense of better oxygenation, and over time, if you stay consistent, stronger blood flow, not just to your heart and brain, but to your lower body, where many men begin to feel the years catching up. I've had men tell me, "Dr. Elena, I thought I was done. I thought the best part of life was behind me." But after 2 weeks of morning beet juice, they're calling back, telling me they feel sharper, more energetic, and yes, more responsive in intimate moments. It's not just about sex, it's about identity. It's about waking up in the morning and knowing your body still listens to you, still responds. Beets don't just help with blood flow, they actually protect your blood vessels from damage, reduce inflammation, and can even help lower blood pressure over time. They're strengthening your entire cardiovascular foundation. 4. Real results from real men over 60. There's something powerful about seeing the science come to life in real people. Some of the most rewarding moments in my career have been hearing the quiet hope return in a man's voice when he says, "Dr. Elena, it's working." Let me tell you about Mr. Anderson. He was 67 when he first came to see me. A retired teacher, soft-spoken, proud, but clearly weighed down. He told me he hadn't had a full natural erection in over 8 months. No morning stiffness, no arousal that felt complete. It was starting to affect his marriage, but more than that, it was changing how he saw himself. He said, "I feel like my body's betraying me, and I don't know how to fight back." We talked about blood flow, nitric oxide, and diet. I suggested something simple. Start his mornings with half a cup of fresh beet juice. That was it. No prescriptions, no pressure, just a quiet commitment to himself. After about 2 weeks, he called my office. His voice was lighter, almost surprised. He said, "I woke up this morning and there it was. Not weak, not partial, solid. And I didn't need anything extra to make it happen." I could hear the pride returning, the dignity. He felt alive again. Mr. Anderson's story is not unique. I've seen this play out time and time again in plumbers, accountants, veterans, pastors, men who thought their best years were behind them, only to find that with a little support and consistency, their bodies still had more to give. What I want you to hear is this: you are not beyond help. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's waiting for the right signal, the right support. 5. When and how to eat beets for maximum circulation. Timing and consistency can make all the difference. You can have the right food, the right nutrients, but if you use them the wrong way or at the wrong time, you won't get the results your body is capable of. Morning is the golden window. That's when your testosterone is naturally highest, your blood vessels are most responsive, and your body is primed to absorb nutrients. Eating beets on an empty stomach or drinking beet juice first thing allows your body to convert those nitrates into nitric oxide far more efficiently. Here's what I recommend. Start with half a cup of roasted beet slices, or blend a small beet into a morning smoothie. For those who prefer convenience, a scoop of high-quality beetroot powder in warm water works just as well. You don't need much. What matters is that you do it daily, before your first meal. One more thing I always share: avoid brushing your teeth immediately before or after consuming beets. The friendly bacteria in your mouth help start the process of converting nitrates into nitric oxide. If you use strong mouthwash or brush too soon, you might block the very reaction your body needs. It's small details like this that turn a good habit into a great one. 6. What not to eat in the morning if you want better erections. What you remove from your mornings can matter just as much as what you include. I've had patients say, Dr. Elena, I'm drinking the beet juice, but I'm not seeing much change. And when we looked deeper, we'd find their breakfast habits were quietly working against them. One of the biggest culprits? Processed breakfast meats, bacon, sausage, deli ham. These are loaded with sodium and preservatives that constrict blood vessels and reduce circulation to your pelvic region. Then there are refined carbs, white toast, muffins, pastries. These spike your insulin and crash your hormones, including testosterone. And too much caffeine on an empty stomach can increase cortisol, your stress hormone, which tightens blood vessels and makes arousal more difficult. If you're trying to restore your manhood, the first hour of your day needs to support healing, not block it. Instead of processed meats, reach for a boiled egg or a handful of nuts. Instead of sugary toast, try avocado on whole grain bread. These foods pair beautifully with beets. They provide healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals that nourish your blood vessels and support hormonal balance. When you make that shift, removing what clogs your system and replacing it with foods that nourish and protect, your body responds. The blood flows, the warmth returns, and for many men, that first natural erection after weeks or months feels like life breathing back into their sense of identity. 7. Why morning matters more than you think. Over the years, I've noticed something powerful about men who commit to morning habits, especially those over 60. The mornings become a quiet turning point, a reclaiming, a moment where instead of letting the day dictate how they feel, they choose to set the tone with strength, purpose, and healing. Biologically, morning is a golden window for male health. Your testosterone levels are at their daily peak, which means your body is more naturally responsive. Your blood pressure is slightly elevated in the early hours, which primes your circulatory system for action if you feed it the right support. When you consume nitrate-rich foods like beets in the morning on an empty stomach, your body is far more efficient at converting them into nitric oxide. That gas tells your blood vessels to relax and expand, opening the gates for oxygen, nutrients, and blood to reach every corner of your body. But there's something deeper. When a man begins his morning with intention, choosing to nourish himself instead of skipping breakfast or grabbing something processed, he begins to reclaim control over his health. It's a psychological shift as much as a physical one. I remember one patient, a 72-year-old former Marine, who told me, Dr. Elena, I don't want a shortcut. I want a mission. I want a reason to wake up and fight for my body again. We started small, a glass of beet juice, a 10-minute walk, a better breakfast. Within a few weeks, he wasn't just having better circulation, he was sleeping better, laughing more, showing up differently in his marriage. That's what morning routines can do. They don't just heal the body, they anchor the man. 8. What to expect, the timeline for results. One of the most common questions I get is, Dr. Elena, how long until I actually feel something? When you've gone months or even years feeling like your body is letting you down, it's hard to believe something so simple could spark real change. Yet, I've seen it happen time and time again. In the first few days, most men don't notice major changes in bedroom performance, but they do notice something subtle. A little more color in their face, slightly better focus, an easier time getting out of bed. That's your circulatory system waking up again. By day 4 or 5, that nitric oxide boost starts to build. Blood vessels begin to open more freely. You may feel warmer hands and feet. Some men tell me they feel lighter. Then comes day 7. This is where things get interesting. A few of my patients have reported waking up with their first spontaneous morning erection in months. No medication, no external stimulation, just blood finally reaching where it needs to go. And it's not just the physical response, it's the emotional lift that follows, a sense of, I'm back. By the 2-week mark, many men begin to see measurable improvements. Stronger responses to touch. You've seen what happens inside the body when you eat it. How real men, just like you, have experienced profound changes, and how timing, especially in the morning, can make all the difference. We've talked about what to avoid and the healing power of building a ritual that not only supports your body, but reclaims your masculinity from the inside out. So here's what I want to leave you with. Don't wait for a better moment. Don't wait for more motivation, more research, or another wake-up call. You have everything you need right now. the knowledge, the tools, and the choice. One small act repeated each morning can build a rhythm of healing that touches every part of your life: your energy, your confidence, your relationships, and your sense of identity as a man. No matter how many years you've lived or how long you felt disconnected from the man you once were, that version of you is still there, waiting, ready. Beats are just the beginning. Let this be the first morning of the rest of your life. You're not done. Far from it. You're just getting started. If this video spoke to you, if it helped you see your body in a new light or gave you one small reason to hope again, I'd be honored if you gave it a like. Share this with a brother, a friend, or someone you care about. I also welcome your voice in the comments. Type 1 if you're going to try this beat morning routine. Thank you for watching, and thank you for taking your health into your own hands. You're not alone, and you're never too old to start again.